Hello. Well, now you can hear me. I was talking to you on mute.
Oh, I can hear you now.
Okay. How was your day today?
It went pretty well. It went pretty
Yeah.
well. Fridays are typically pretty busy.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and
Same.
just in the insurance business, people typically make decisions on Friday.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I got a really good tip. Whenever you're raising someone's rate, because of whatever reason, if they moved, if driving record changed, you call them Friday around 4:30. People are normally happy around Friday at 4:30, and they're willing to pay whatever premium increase it is.
That's a
Um,
good tip.
so those are my times to call people. Friday,
Yeah.
like 4 to like 5:30.
Yeah. In the evening.
Surprisingly, I'm more receptive to
Yeah.
increases. And it's not like I made the price. They started driving a certain way, or they changed locations, or whatever. The situation changed, and now they have to pay a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a good day.
Yeah.
Good day.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
Busy. Very busy. Real estate's still going. I had two settlements today because I was a settlement agent.
Yeah.
And, just still selling real estate.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a great field. I did consider it. So the auto business was doing really good for me. And, but you work crazy hours. I mean, you're there from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
I heard. Yeah.
It's time on task, and you really have in it, throughout the course of those hours. And, I was consider myself a young man, even to this day.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like it was healthy for me, being away from my family, my kids. I just wanted to have that work-life balance. And no matter how much money you made in that business, you never got your time back.
Yeah. I can definitely understand that.
Yeah. You
So why did you become an insurance agent? What got you into specifically that?
So I knew that in order for me to be happy in life, quite frankly, I had to make money. And I realized that this is a business that I can make the money that I needed to make and also enjoy the lifestyle that I wanted to enjoy. So that was part of it. And I'll be honest with you, it was appetizing for me to kind of see the writing on the wall that if you do something for a certain amount of time, residual effect just starts to happen.
Oh, yeah.
And I really do enjoy people. I enjoy helping people make decisions, whether it's easy decisions or hard decisions. And this is one of those fields, like I said earlier, that it's a low barrier for entry. And, I said, I can help a lot of people out. I've already sold a ton of cars, and the phone call would be easy to those clients I had already sold cars to.
Oh, yeah.
So that was part of it. And then I kind of stumbled across a job in this business a few years back, and I was just doing it was a renewal specialist where the policy was already written, and then it was just to manage the policy. So, call and make changes to the policy, ask questions about the policy. And I said, if I'm doing this for the policy that's already written and I'm missing an opportunity here, let me just go ahead and step up to the plate and do it full time.
Yeah. That
And
sounds
it was
great.
an easy transition for me.
Yeah.
So now I've bought my time back, enjoy life, really.
That's important. Have balance and enjoy your family and just life,
Yeah.
Live every day. That's what I tell people. You got to live every day.
Yeah. I think it's a very unique field to be in because it takes a level of patience to be in it. Because it moves a little slower. It doesn't move as slow as your business, I would imagine, but
Oh no.
it definitely.
Especially not these days.
Yeah. Has it impacted you guys in a major way, or?
Actually, it's been incredibly busy and fast. I say, realtors need to stay on the pulse of the market. You have to be able to understand the wave of, what's happening. It's a seller's market. It was a seller's and buyer's market.
Yeah.
And I say, why it's a seller's market, it's not a lot of inventory, but it was also a buyer's market because the rates were really low.
Yeah.
So, you just have so many people, it's like the funnel, effect, so many people just trying to go to this one house.
Right.
So just being able to understand the current market, being trustworthy, not only just to your client, advocating for them, advising them, the best that's best for them. So when they put these offers in, they know, why they got it. They know why they didn't get it. So also building trust with that other agent, that's been one of my successes of why I get so many offers accepted and closed in this very aggressive market. And
Right.
I love it. I love to win. So it's aggressive.
Yeah.
I'm aggressive. I like it.
Yeah.
So yeah, just keeping up with that. And, it's been very good. Very good. 2020 was really good. 2021 started off fast.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of how it was. It did start off fast for us this year. And normally February, also January, it's kind of slow.
Usually.
It's a direct, it's impacted directly by the auto industry. So a lot of times people really don't buy a ton of vehicles January and February. But I just think because of the interest rates, like you were saying, it just got so low because people weren't buying stuff. So it was incentives for these dealerships and also for your industry just to start, dropping interest rates so people can get out and shop more. So busy, but I was working from home, like I was saying earlier. And because I was working from home, it was a little bit difficult to just manage the two. So I literally had my schedule just ironed out throughout the course of the day. And I literally had to write on there time for Nathan, time for Edison. And I had to be very, very strict around this bubble that I had to create for myself, because if I didn't, I would find myself, changing the diaper, then going outside and throw the football, then trying to call back a customer. And it just wasn't working. So when I finally made the transition back to the office, it was like, Nikki, it was all just green light. Let's go.
Yes, focus. I understand you on that. I think being very organized with your time, being calculated, I think that definitely contributes to some great successes in this market. And I feel like that's, again, just going back to this crazy real estate market, that's one of the reasons why I've been able to be so successful is, timing everything.
Right.
And, being calculated and organized. That's a big thing. So I actually like to work from home. Yeah. I feel like I'm more relaxed,
Is that your office where you are now, or that's a separate place?
No, this is my dining room and my formal living room. I was gonna do it in my office, but I don't like the lighting. Lighting was bad.
Yeah.
And then look, we work a lot, and I share an office with my husband, who's also a lender.
Yeah.
So we have a lot going on. We have 2 printers and we have 2 desks. He has about 6 computers on his desk.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot. So.
Yeah. I think Dan is trying to get in here. Hang on one second. Dan's.
Let me go grab my glasses. I'll be right back.
Okay.
To change my clothes from today's webinar this morning.
Yeah.
I had a settlement just a couple hours ago, and I'm just committed to when I'm there, I'm just all in it. Yeah. And the buyers, they had 2 English bulldogs, and they were just like jumping all over me. And I just love dogs, so I'm like letting them jump all over, but I'm like dog hair all over, so I had to change my clothes.
Wow.
A little bit.
Those I think that's the reason why I like that business, because it definitely is it's personable. You're in people's life, and you're helping to make, which is probably the biggest purchase of their life for many, many people.
Oh yeah, definitely. It is the biggest. And it's an emotional for someone, some people too.
Yeah. Yeah. When we bought out in Reisterstown in 2013. And I was emotional about it, but it was more of, I just want to get this over with, because we had been at it for like a year. It looked at different properties, and then there was a lien on one property that we were ready to close on, and then it was 4 liens on it. So, and it was to the point where I still was so much wanted to get it over with. I'm like, well, I like it. How much would it cost? And then when they told me the real number, I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that, because I like 5 times by the time it was all said and done. Oh, we just stayed true to the decision to purchase a home, and my wife was on it. Yeah. And we ended up finding new construction out in the Reisterstown area.
Oh, nice.
Townhome. It sits on a horse farm on a dead end street.
Wow.
It's really, really, really nice. And I think the fact that it is a dead end, and they're not going to build on this horse farm, where these horses just
privacy.
Say it again.
You get the privacy.
Yeah, the privacy, and there's no through street, so it's a kid-friendly environment, but the kids don't play with one another. That's the crazy part about it.
Oh, yeah.
There's a ton of kids in the neighborhood and none of them play with one another. It's just
New generation.
or they're out or they're in their houses playing games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah. Look, yeah, I mean, you had it right. You know, you have to be resilient.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that's another thing that I discuss with my clients. You got to be resilient, you know? You got to, you know, just keep going.
Yep.
Good. Nice to meet you, Nikki.
You too, Daniel.
Laf, how you doing?
I'm great, man.
Good. Well, I do want to give people maybe just a few minutes because we're not quite at 7.
Yeah.
Just to roll in.
Yeah, I mean, and earlier, I mean, it was us on here, so we'll see what happens. I think that I've learned a valuable lesson. I thought that people would take the initiative to, you know, put it on their calendar and then log in and stuff like that. I see now that I have to actually send out the registration and people register for it, and that, you know, puts it on their calendar. They get the passcode and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you know, this is one of many.
Well, I think, like I was saying to you earlier, it's the only way that I learned about webinars was trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
We had so many fails before we actually started doing it the right way. But to your point about participation and just getting people to come, it really is about, I don't want to say hammering their email, but just reminding them on a consistent basis and getting the commitment via either, you know, entering their email or schedule, you know, some sort of scheduling, like if you can work out like you know, how you add to calendar.
Right.
That sort of, whenever, just like a sales commitment, right?
Mm.
This is a commitment to attend the webinar. So I think obviously we can work on that, but I do think, you know, you have the initial blast of like, hey, we're having a webinar 2 weeks from now, but then you do something the next week.
Right.
And then you do something when it's the week of, you do something probably almost every day beforehand, or at least the 3 days beforehand. It's just reminding people to come join you. So
Right.
I know I know people. I thought people would be overwhelmed with that and be annoyed by it, but they're not. It reminds them, and it like I said, I just get their commitment levels higher when you know they've done something. Either the other thing you can do is like a question, like just 3 simple questions, like, do you have homeowners insurance? Or
Right.
you know, do you know what homeowners insurance is? Or what, you know, what amount of home, you know, how much is your home worth and how much do you think it needs to be insured for? I'm just throwing this out spur of the moment, but like stuff like anything like a commitment to like them entering that information is huge. So I don't know.
And I'll piggyback off of that.
Sure.
I think just like what you said, being consistent is going to be a snowball effect. So, you know, putting this video out there later on a social media platform, you'll get people to look, and every week new people will come on like, oh, what are they talking about this week? And I saw him, but I missed it. But let me put that on my calendar. So it does take time to build up that snowball effect and, you know, gather people's attention. But also, you know, just another thing that I learned in sales is I call it with them. You know, you have to give them a reason. Everybody's like, what's in it for me?
Yes, you know? Absolutely.
So, yeah, we know it's great information, but they don't know yet.
That's actually, so Laf and I were talking, and again, it wasn't enough time to prep for something like this, but I was like, you kind of have to dangle a carrot, like give something away at the end and tease that throughout. Even if it's like a free report or something, it's like Nikki's fail-proof guide to homeowners insurance, you know, like some sort of PDF file. It can be as simple as that, but something to keep them engaged throughout and keep them tuned in. And that's another way to follow up via email.
Right.
The people that were on your list. So yeah, I mean, any and all of that is going to just lead to more and better webinars.
All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to launch this, and you know, we're just going to go with the agenda and make the best of this. And I'm going to act like there are 1,000 people here.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good way to do it. That's the way I want to do it. And I know, Nikki, I was saying to Lafayette, I don't know if he talked about the first one, but I tuned into the first one a bit. And you guys were great. I mean, I love you in particular. Your setup's great. Just the background is clean. It doesn't distract people, but it lets them know that you're serious about what you do.
Yeah.
You know, you're not in your sweatpants and you're not with some, black I guess you guys are very professional. So like all that stuff, I think builds up over and over again. Like you were saying, your reputation starts to build, and you'll end up getting like. So I was telling Lafayette this too. Like our thing was like our webinars were sales pitch at the end every time, like hard sell. I know yours is not, but we'd have people. We'd record the webinar. We'd have the same people that we had already sold back for the next webinar. So like sometimes it's good enough where people would just want to watch you over and over again. And I think that's kind of the goal, is like keep it entertaining. They want to come back for something.
Yeah.
Cool.
Here we go. I'm going to launch this. Hang tight.
Oh, great. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's webinar. Let me introduce myself. I'm the moderator for this evening. My name is Dan Mills. I'm going to be your host tonight for the homeowners insurance webinar. I just want to go over, while people start to enter, I just want to go over just a few housekeeping things. Number one, sound check. I know this sounds silly, but make sure your volume's up. Make sure you can hear us. If you can't, say something in the chat box. The chat box is down below. So just enter something in so that I can see that and I can help you out. The good news is, if you miss something, tonight's entire webinar is going to be recorded. So we will be replaying this later on. And if you missed 5-10 minutes, if you came late, we're going to play all this over again. So don't worry about missing anything. There is going to be some really valuable information. So even if you watch it once the whole way through, you might want to watch it again in case you missed something or you forgot to write something down. So that was housekeeping number 2. The next thing is just try to keep yourselves on mute as our speakers are talking. I know sometimes the background noise can affect that, and we can hear all that. It picks it up. So if you do have a question, which I know you probably will, just enter that into the chat box too. And as the narrator, I'm going to see that. I'm going to monitor the chat box, and I can point those questions at either of our guests tonight. So type that in there, and we'll go from there. So without further ado, it is after 7, so let's get it started. First, I want to introduce Lafayette Goins. Lafayette works with me at the Baltimore Insurance Network, and he helps customers, clients, just like you guys out there listening tonight, save money on their homeowners insurance. He provides insurance quotes from top-rated carriers. Everybody ranging from local folks like Erie or Agency, all the way to like Nationwide, Allstate, Travelers. And Lafayette has been in the business for years. He's worked with thousands of folks just like you to design the perfect insurance policy. So he's going to be our first guest this evening, and he's going to be joined by our second guest, which is Nikki Aguilera. Nikki, welcome as well. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The two of them are going to talk about a couple of different things. Nikki's going to introduce herself and tell you about her background in a minute, but I want to just tell you what's going to be discussed tonight. So first, Lafayette's going to go over what exactly homeowners insurance is. I know I didn't have a clue about that when we bought our first house, so I felt like I was flying in the dark. So this is going to give you a heads up on what it actually is. Number 2, what it covers. How much do you need and what type do you need? I know this stuff sounds silly, but it's things that we don't know unless somebody tells us. So it might sound basic, but you're going to enjoy just hearing this from Lafayette, again, who's been in the business for a number of years. And then Nikki, she's going to tell you what home ownership means. Her background's going to be closer to the real estate side of things. So she's going to tell us what it means, how to choose a professional and a knowledgeable agent. She's going to tell you all about the decision-making process and how to buy or sell a home. So our two guests, Lafayette and Nikki, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Lafayette, do you want to start off, or Nikki, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and your background?